Boom, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Juan More Round with Robert and Sebastian. Gentlemen.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
All right. So before the first July card of this year,
Uh-huh.
we're going to go over some mid-year awards. All right.
All right.
We have a couple categories here. Let's see, what do we have? We have best knockout, best submission, biggest upset,
Ooh,
fighter of the year, well, I guess fighter of the mid-year,
okay.
the best card, comeback fighter of the mid-year, and the biggest moment so far.
It has
All
been
right.
a mid-year for the UFC.
Come on, dude. The UFC hasn't been bigger than it is now, ever.
That's true. That's true. I don't know if
It's
we'll
gonna
be
be at the
saying
White
this by
House,
the
bro.
end of this year, right?
Nah, dude.
Things might change. Next thing we know, December, we're straight jizzing our pants because Topuria is going to fight Islam or something, you know?
And then we're fiending at the end of December when there's no UFC for 7 weeks.
And then that too. And then that happens. Then have
Yeah.
to get into something else,
Right.
like soccer.
And I got to find an identity.
The World
All
Cup
right.
will be coming around then.
Come on, bro. Don't. All these deportations around, you're going to mention soccer right now, bro? Come on.
No era penal.
Oh, no. How many days has it been?
I don't know.
It's been like,
But people never forget.
it was in I think it was like 2014. No, not 2014. Was it 2014?
I don't
Or
remember,
was it
dude.
the 2018 World Cup?
It was a while back though,
It's
but
been
Yeah,
a
the
couple.
2014, bro.
Yeah, it's been a couple of days.
Back then.
It's been like 3,000 days or so. All right, whatever, give or take. Let's start it off, dude. Best knockout so far. Gonna go to you, Robert. Go ahead. What you got
best
for me?
knockout of the mid-year for me, I got Mauricio Rufy versus Bobby Green. The reason I'm saying is because straight up, look at that, dude. Look at that picture. Mortal Kombat, right there, fatality style, man. Come on, what are we talking about here, bro? That's got to be the best knockout of the year. And then what happens right after that kick? Slumped.
Oh,
I love Bobby Green, King Green, sorry. But you know, he got slumped right there, man. Still a fan, for sure. But yeah, there you go. Next up and comer right there, Rufy.
all right. Give me your opening odds. Mauricio Rufy versus Ilya Topuria.
Oh my God. Opening odds. Minus 160 plus 150.
Damn, you got them close?
All right, you got a close
I
fight.
got him pretty close, yeah.
All right. Who do you think has
But
better chance?
depends how his next fight goes, right? If he goes out there and again executes somebody out there, I'll have it like that. Yeah, pretty even. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, hear me out. Hear me out.
And I'm talking about Rufy in his next fight.
Hear me out. Mauricio Rufy,
Yep.
Dan Hooker. Boom.
Oh my gosh, why would you do that to me?
You're going to
Boom.
execute Dan Hooker, bro.
Yeah,
Sometimes you gotta
you're gonna sacrifice.
Oh, I got a better
Dan
one.
Hooker
Got a
like
better
that?
one. Mauricio
Go.
Rufy. Conor McGregor.
Oh
Nah, he ain't
my
gonna take it.
gosh, yeah, no, he
He
wouldn't
ain't
take
gonna
that.
take it.
At the White
he
House.
knows he's going to die.
At
bro.
the White
Take that,
House.
bro. At
All
the
right.
White House, that'd be crazy though.
Nah, they're going to feed him Chandler, bro.
Yeah, they are. All right, that's a solid
Why
pick.
not?
Sebastian, who you got?
Well, for the best KO this year so far, I'm going to have to go with Topuria over Charles. That
Yeah.
right-left hook combo was gnarly. And obviously seeing Charles go out like that sucked, but that was why he's the new double champ.
Why that picture, dude? Why
That's a
couldn't you
sad
just get him when
ass-
he's actually
no.
getting punched, man?
This
Why
has
the
to
one when
be-
he's slumped? you got King Green almost on the almost impact,
It's just, you
but
know?
you had to put Charles slumped. The disrespect right now. Charles, just know the pod loves you. He didn't mean to put that. That's the only picture he could find.
No, I went out of my way to make sure I found this one.
Oh my gosh.
Like nothing in this world means more to me than
All
this
right.
All
You
right.
just had it on you
Go
too,
for
or
your
what?
pick, man. Go for your pick.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
All right, so my KO of the year so far, I'm gonna go with UFC newcomer Ju Sang Yu for 2 reasons. All right, actually 3 reasons.
Okay.
I just finished watching Squid Games. All right, so
Uh-huh.
Korea's got a special place in my heart right now.
Makes sense.
His nickname is the Little Zombie, and he trains with the Korean Zombie. All right,
That's pretty sick.
so that's
All
it.
right.
And he also came out to the Korean Zombie walkout, so that was lit. And also because he lived up to the hype, got a KO in I think under a minute. You know, he lived up to the name. He definitely earned the name. So it's got
Okay.
that feeling like the new generation of Korean Zombie is back. You know,
All right.
so that's my pick.
So
That's dope.
just nothing about the fight. Just
I mean, the
Yeah,
KO was
just
pretty
about
sick.
everything
It
else.
was, just-
The
So you
KO
like Korean
sick.
Zombie
it was a
song?
it was a solid. I think it was a left hook. It was a pretty solid
All
left
right,
hook.
all right.
It's just to me that it's sentimental to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think he's
Gotcha.
gonna keep using the zombie song, or is he gonna get something else?
Nah, you gotta keep.
You gotta
using
keep it
Yeah,
going
you gotta
at
keep
this
using
point.
it.
You already
yeah.
used
You used
it,
it once,
you gotta
bro.
keep it
You used
going,
it
yeah.
once, and you didn't blow your chance to use it. You gotta keep using it.
Yeah.
And he has the
especially
blessing?
'cause he has the blessing. He got the
Yeah.
knockout.
Mhm.
Now, let's say he would have walked out there, gotten slumped.
Mhm.
I think you retire that song.
Or
For
was
sure,
boring or something, you know. But now he
You
earned
know,
it.
Got
No,
slumped.
yeah.
Like Bobby
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah, that's true.
If
Yeah,
you
bro.
know.
You come out
But
looking
he
like
didn't.
Bobby Green. You nah. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, but you called him
yeah.
slumped, bro.
What do you mean he did though?
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
All right, enough.
Did he
Bobby
not
Green-
fall?
Enough King
Did he
Green
not
slander.
fall?
Enough King Green slander. All right, best submission of the year, Robert. Back to you.
Best submission of the year, I'm gonna have to go with Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell. Just because Bryce Mitchell is a grappler, and to see that being done to him like that, just unconscious, was crazy. But that's pretty much it, you know. And then just
That's a good one.
the whole sentimental part of like the whole match, you know. They actually don't like each other, and Gene Silva's still out there saying fuck Bryce Mitchell
Still to this day.
To
this
this
day.
day. To this day.
To this day.
Yeah, he was out there in Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
See, this
Not
guy's
how it
saying
feels.
just yeah.
But now it's fuck Diego Lopez though.
Nah,
All right, all right.
It's pain, bro. I'm gonna have to be there. Watch Diego Lopez go down. It's gonna pain me to see that. All right, solid pick, Sebastian. Who you got?
For my submission so far of the year, I'm gonna go with Dvalishvili over O'Malley. Obviously, I know you guys are O'Malley riders. To see your boy get choked out like that felt pretty good. The new hip surgery didn't really do anything, so I think we got the greatest of that division to show right there, and it's Dvalishvili.
All right,
Yeah, that one was pretty sad to watch.
solid. For mine, I'm gonna go with Kevin Holland versus Vicente Luque.
Sheesh.
And the reason I say that is one, because Vicente Luque is, I think he's got the most submission wins at welterweight. I could be
Uh-huh.
lying, but I probably not lying.
Okay.
And he also has a bunch of them via Anaconda, which was what Kevin Holland got him with. So that's pretty cool.
Wasn't it supposedly his move?
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he did in like what in one round, I think, one or two
don't
rounds. Can't
remember,
recall,
dude.
but it was pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
Pretty
quick.
sick though.
Yep. So I'm gonna give this one to Kevin Holland, even though
That
I'm still
45-70.
even though I'm still pissed at him for 45-70, but Kevin Holland.
Hey, he's coming back. This is the comeback right here.
I think he's at what? This is gonna be his fourth or fifth fight. No, this is his fourth fight in July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't worry, I
we
got him a
we
little
might
later
be
on.
seeing the resurgence.
I got him a little
of,
later
sir.
on. Yeah.
The welterweight Holland is back. All right. Biggest upset so far. Who you got, Robert?
I'm gonna have to go with the most recent one, Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval. I really thought, what was it, 3 weeks notice?
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't think Joshua Van was gonna pull it off, but he definitely did, and apparently gave us one of the best fights of all time, according to some people. And yeah, and he got the win. So, and what was Brandon Royval was the #1 contender right now
Yes,
for
sir.
the title. So that's insane. So that's my biggest upset of the mid-year.
Solid. All right.
Good choice. Good choice.
Who you guys see best?
That was a pretty crazy fight. I'm gonna take Imavov versus Adesanya, man. Obviously, I know how to sign it toward the back end of his career, but to see a dude like Imavov just beat him and take him out in the second round, it's kind of crazy. And I thought it was a pretty surprising win by Imavov. So that's gonna be my upset this year, so far.
All right, solid.
What about you, Juan?
All right, so for mine, I guess I won't call it an upset as in the fact that the guy that won shouldn't have won. It was more of an upset in the way that this dude performed. Patchy Mix versus Mario Batista.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this was, like I said, I mean, it was pretty close in the odds, but the fact that this dude showed absolutely no MMA, no head movement, no anything.
Sheesh.
Granted, he took it on a couple weeks' notice, but still, as a world champion from a former organization, you gotta do better, you know.
Oh yeah. And with
So
all
my-
that talk too.
Yep. So my biggest upset,
I
my biggest upset is I'm upset in the way he performed. So there's that.
maybe we just have to be honest and say that the UFC has a top tier talent, man. I mean, their
Yeah.
competition out there
I
has
agree.
been able to compete. So
All right, what do you think? Give me
We've
Payne
been talking
Talbot.
about UFC for a
Give me Payne Talbot versus Patchy Mix.
Yeah, I'm down to see that for sure.
All right.
that would be good.
All right. Fighter of the mid-year. Robert, what you got?
Fighter of the mid-year. I'm gonna have to go with Joshua Van on this one. Yeah, I mean his run right now has been insane. His fights are never boring, and yeah, I mean he really looks like a good prospect right here.
Solid.
We might even see it. We might even see him fight again this year.
In December, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe, and maybe twice. I don't
Yeah.
even know. This guy's crazy like that right now.
All right.
Been on a crazy streak, so makes sense.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think odds are him against Pantoja?
I don't know. That one,
Oh, they're gonna have Pantoja at minus 240, bro.
You think so?
I think so, bro. I mean, come on, this guy obviously he's on a tear, but Pantoja's still reigning champ for a
Pantoja's-
reason,
Pantoja's pretty good.
and he's
man.
beat every challenge, bro.
I was gonna say that
Yeah,
it's gonna be
he solves it.
bigger odds for him.
Bigger, like what?
Like a minus like 3 something.
Three
Alright, yeah,
something?
that's-
Damn, that's
yeah,
just. I mean,
bro.
I'll take that bet though. I'll put it on Van at that point. It's gonna be plus 2 something then 250.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not though, but all right. Seabass, who you got?
For Friday the mid year, I'm gonna take
Nice.
Kevin Holland. Obviously, with his 4 wins, dude's on a tear, and excited to see what he does. Hopefully, he actually starts competing and gets to that championship level.
All right. Solid. I'm going to go with the king of Georgia, Merab Dvalishvili. Taking on Umar
Damn,
Nurmagomedov.
no Ilya.
Nah. He's only got one again. You got to have, I told you, it's justified D writing, you know? Justified D writing. Nah, but he took Umar Nurmagomedov's O. He was showboating half the match pretty much. Just, showed that championship mentality in the second half of the fight. I think he was down like the first 2 rounds and he came back and won the rest of the 3. And then came back, beat Sean O'Malley in even more decisive fashion than the first time. So, my man, he's probably going to get one more in this year. So, I'm just preemptively giving Fighter of the Year. Unless Ilya fights again, then I'm going to give it to him, obviously. All right.
All right.
Best card of the year so far. To Rob.
Damn. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with 314, man.
All right.
That's the best card of the year so far that I've seen. It gave us everything we really wanted. Great championship fight for sure. Good ass, pretty much up and comer of Patty Pimblett, and I don't know, I haven't seen it in a while, but a nice a nice ground and pound,
That's
Michael
crazy.
Chandler, just
That's crazy.
He was fucking him up, so that was pretty fun to watch. Then the rest of the card was fun. I mean, the submission by Gene Silva, and yeah, Dominic Reyes, he was out there.
I thought you're a Dumas fan, bro. That's why you wanted to watch it.
But yeah, no, the card was great.
All right, solid. What you got, Seabass?
For my pick on the card of the year so far, I'm gonna go with UFC 316. Um, Obviously, I think it was a super stat card. My boy Duvalis really took that championship. You got to see Harrison would take that belt too, and the rest of the card's pretty solid. I mean, Kevin Holland again. I'm liking his performances, and that Patchy makes fight. Got to show why UFC's top tier. So that's my pick right there for card of the year so far. One.
Yeah, man, you had Joshua Van in there. My boy Jung Sung Yu. I forgot his name, but the little Korean boy was in there.
Damn.
Damn,
Hey,
that's
come on,
disrespectful.
bro.
All right.
I've watched too much
Alright.
Squid Games, bro. All these names they got to
Yeah.
me.
You should know him by now.
Nah,
Where you live, bro? What part of the country you live in?
we don't talk about that. My
That's fair.
state's underwater, bro. Have some respect, please. Please. Have some compassion.
All
All right, but I'm gonna go with UFC 314 also. Just because we saw Volkanovski come back. Chandler, or I guess Paddy Pimblett, semi-established himself, even though he beat somebody who's been on like a 3-fight losing streak. You know, same thing. You had Bryce Mitchell, Gene Silva, Pitbull's debut, which was a little lackluster also, but it is what
Little.
it is. My boy Reyes got back in the win call, or he's been in the win column, but got another KO this year. Beautiful to see. The damage got damaged, which is, you know, the end of an era. So there's that. But yeah, dude, that Tresean Gore one was a pretty good one too, if I recall. I think that's the one where Hooper told the world that he all he did was goon the whole time. So there's that. But all right,
That's why you a fan, huh?
that's why I'm a fan, bro. He did the opposite of the O'Malley approach.
No.
All right, let's move on to comeback fighter of the year. Robert.
Comeback fight of the year for me, I'm gonna have to go with Peyton Talbot right now. Yep.
Peyton Talbot.
Since
You back?
yeah, since I mean everybody counted him out, started making fun of the guy, but now he's looking pretty solid after his most recent fight. So I'm gonna have to go with Peyton Talbot for sure, man. At least for me.
Think Frank told him something? Helped him get
nah.
back in line?
Nah.
That's his boy, bro.
I think they might have toned it down though, you know? Yeah, as you saw, like he wasn't out here posting with them, posting no song clip or anything like that, you know. He locked in.
Locked in.
That's true.
All right, Seabass, who you got?
Man, for my pick I have to go with Kevin Holland again. Comeback fighter of the year. On a crazy streak. Excited to see what he does with it. I know I already picked him earlier and said the same shit, but I just think this dude's doing great for like type of career he's had so far. Obviously, he had a great first year, but after that, he's been struggling. So I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Holland for comeback.
He
What about
just
you,
needs
Juan?
to do one thing, man. I think he just needs to do one more thing.
Scientology.
Apologize. Rampage?
Squash it with Rampage, man. Come on, man. Ow.
I know,
Come
bro,
on,
but
man.
that's his personality, you know.
That's true.
He don't
That's
give
true.
a fuck.
You gotta pay him, bro.
Yeah.
Pay him his
You
money.
gotta pay him, bro. He ain't free, bro.
You gotta pay him his money, bro. You want to know ego? I'll tell you ego, bro. You want to talk about ego?
You want to
Nah, I'm
work
good.
for free?
All right, mine. I'm gonna go with Alexander the Great Volkanovski. After coming back from
All right.
two devastating KOs, one to the hands of Ilia Topuria, the goat. You know, took on Diego Lopez, who many
That Glaze is crazy.
thought he was gonna knock him out, bro. That guy can take a punch, can give a punch. I think he beat the curse, right? That anybody under 155 over the age of 35, I think they're like 1 in 20 or some
Wow.
crazy number.
I didn't even know there was a curse like that.
Yes, sir. Look it
Wow.
up, bro.
Yeah, I didn't
Reverse,
know
he
you did it,
reversed the
man.
Wow.
curse.
What?
Yeah, I think it's anyone under or anyone over 35 from the 155 and under divisions. I think they're like 1 in 20 or something in the UFC. In championship
All
fights.
right.
In championship fights. I think the only one
Okay.
to do it was what's his name? Henry Cejudo. But
All
now you
right.
got to add Volkanovski to the list. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm gonna give mine to Volk on that one.
Yeah.
what's up.
All the homies love Volk, man.
All the homies love Volk.
Yeah.
How can you hate him, bro?
How can
He's
you?
from down under.
Yeah. Last one here. What's the biggest moment so far? Robert, what you got?
Biggest moment right now in
Biggest
UFC?
moment.
Come
Biggest
on,
story.
man. Ah, just because I know what your moment is, I'm gonna go with Bilal versus JDM. The just the whole accumulation of everything within that fight, right? Because that was gonna be the deciding factor of how the UFC was gonna go, or which route the UFC was gonna go, right? To promote what fight, to keep going this way or that way, right? Uh, and now we see that Islam is gonna move to 170, go against JDM, and then Topuria, we just saw, won the second belt, and now it looks like we're gonna be now it's gonna start the build up for the super fight. But we gotta wait for Islam to win that belt first, or not. We don't
If
know
he wins it.
if he wins it. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's to me the biggest moment, right so far.
Okay.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that too. I had this moment as well. JDM versus Bilal. I think Bilal was a dominant champion, or at least dominant fighter before the championship fights, and obviously he had a good couple wins. But JDM just looked like another level, another beast. Hoping he knocks out Islam so he can go back to his division and get knocked out by Topuria too. That's my prediction.
And the Dagestani reign.
End it, bro.
Dagestan. All right, so I'm gonna piggyback off your piggyback, and this was my biggest moment too. Just seeing Bilal Muhammad lose, just that's just really. I think it brought the world back in order. You know, like the MMA gods were looking out for everybody,
Yeah.
but we all know that's not the biggest moment of of UFC so far. Boom, Ilia Topuria,
Obviously.
champ. This is the start.
Obviously.
Y'all witnessing
go,
the
the
start.
glaze.
Yeah,
Nah,
we
dude,
are.
y'all witnessing the start of a superstar.
All right, all right.
You're already
Connor
a
level?
superstar, though.
Connor
This
level
guy-
superstar?
Yes, Connor level superstar.
Or surpass.
That's the thing though. So like Connor,
He seems to be locked in, bro.
All right, so I guess that's all right. So
After
Connor,
after this is when Connor stopped being locked in.
this guy's locked in though. Look at
Yeah,
him.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Imagine he's like he doesn't
He
want
don't
to.
got that Connor money though either.
No, he doesn't right now. Maybe.
I
don't-
mean,
we
through
don't even know.
endorsements
Not yet.
probably, or he's gonna get some.
I mean, he's still doing good.
Yeah.
He's still
He's
doing
gonna
good.
get
but, I
some.
mean,
Yeah.
ain't-
If he
ain't
fills that
under
stadium in
200 million.
Spain,
But let me tell you why though. This guy's winning is the biggest moment.
go.
Prior to John Jones Aspinall, what was the next biggest fight?
Islam
Connor.
versus Topuria.
Yep. So now even though this guy won and Islam's locked up,
Uh-huh.
are we more excited to see Islam versus JDM or Ilya versus who? Versus anybody?
Patty versus Patty for sure.
All right, but so let
I'm
me ask
pretty
you,
excited to
are
see
we
that
excited? Are we excited to see Ilya or Islam versus JDM just because we know Ilya should be next? Because
Yeah,
realistically, we don't care.
because I want to see him go up
No,
a division, bro.
I'm excited because Topuria is gonna be after.
That's what I'm saying. Though,
If,
but realistically,
if Islam
like,
wins, yeah.
yeah. So exactly my point. Why this
Yeah.
guy winning,
Yeah.
is the biggest thing.
Yeah, he's the center right now of the UFC for sure.
You know, there's rumors.
Uh-huh.
There's rumors that John Jones retired because he didn't want to face Ilya Topuria down the line.
Okay.
Oh my
He's
god.
working his way up.
Hey, that is another big moment though. John Jones retiring for 12 days.
I got that as an
That's
honorable
pretty big.
mention. Honorable
That's
mention.
pretty
Right here.
big. That's a pretty big moment, man.
The biggest moment was him finding out when he got arrested again.
Ah.
Nah, that's not a big moment. We knew that was gonna happen.
But no, like everything seems to be centering around Ilya Topuria right now.
Mhm.
Any move that he's gonna make, guess what? People are gonna be talking about it.
Yes, sir.
Anything that happens with him, energy drink that he comes out with, guess what? I'm getting that thing. I'm
Mhm.
buying it. I'm buying that mucho. Or what is it? What is it?
I think it's mucho. Yeah.
Yeah, mucho. Yeah,
I think so.
I'm
That's what
ready
his drink called?
for it to hit the U.S. I'm ready. But yeah, as soon as Islam or if Islam wins, you know what the talk is gonna be about. You know they better ask him up there if he wins that belt. Joe Rogan better grab on, or where you think they'll have it in the U? It's in the U.S., right? The fight
JDM versus
JDM
Islam.
versus Islam. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's in
People are
Chicago.
saying no.
No,
That's DDP. People are
oh,
thinking
that's
it's either
CDP.
going to be in October, either in Australia or
Damn.
Abu Dhabi.
Okay. Damn.
So Joe
Then
Rogan
who's
will
gonna
be
be
there.
up there?
Sick.
DC.
Yeah,
They
DC.
gotta take it out. with the
DC,
money,
DC better
bro.
freaking grab those balls and ask his boy, "Are you gonna fight Topuria next?" You know, he better say the name. He better not just say, "Who do you want to fight next?" Nah, bro, just say it. Dude.
Imagine, all right,
Just say it.
how pissed would we all be? Islam wins and then he retires.
That'd be messed up. That'd be messed up. I think people would be more mad than they are at him than at John Jones.
Yeah,
Yo, bro, big time, dude. That's a complete duck, though.
I mean,
That's a complete duck.
what did John
bro.
Jones do?
Yeah, John Jones did the same thing, and we're all saying he's ducking, but this is like another level for sure. Which one would you think is worse now?
I'd say
we're
I'd
all
say John
hyped
Jones.
for
John
this
Jones.
fight,
John
man.
Jones.
John Jones is still pretty
Because
bad.
only because he dragged it out for 7
Okay.
months or
Okay,
almost a year.
So then if he retires,
I'll be
after
like,
UFC,
like when
whatever.
Khabib retired, it was kind of like, or that kind of rematch, you know?
nah, but this hasn't even happened. This fight hasn't even
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. I mean,
There's
I'd be heartbroken.
no
Don't get me
rematch
wrong.
yet.
Don't get me wrong. It'd be painful, but it'd be worse if he was like, yeah, Ilya's next, and then he retires, and he's like, just kidding.
Damn. That would suck though.
But it would be painful. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
All right, but we got a good choices here at
Yeah.
UFC this weekend. Don't nobody give a damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Well,
the card's
did
actually
you
pretty good.
see? Did you actually see the Patrick CC came out with a doc
Yeah, the UFC one.
for the UFC, the downfall of the
Yes.
UFC right now?
That's how you know UFC.
that the
is in a
UFC
tough spot.
sucks, dude. Damn, man. I never would have thought
When
Patrick CC was cool like
When
that.
Patrick CC starts talking
Yeah.
about your business, it's
Oh,
not a
yeah.
good sign.
It's not a good sign for sure. But dude, do you think at this point, after watching the video, I started thinking, right? At this point, should just Hunter Campbell just start taking over? Should they just have him in the front, you know? At this point, since Dana's missing press conferences, Dana's kind of not, you don't see him as passionate anymore. Like, or, I don't know, you know? Like, well, what do you think? Should Hunter Campbell be already, since he's already doing all the stuff in the background, right? That's what everybody's talking, that he does everything and he's the mastermind behind this and he set it up so the fights would go like this, blah 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 blah. I mean, at this point, why is Dana still up there, right?
Well, I think because I've never really seen or heard Hunter Campbell talk, but I don't think that dude
Yeah.
has much of a personality.
Um,
Like I think once or twice he took over like the press conference, the post-fight press conference,
Uh-huh.
and he's just very like straight to the point. You know, he's not like
Okay.
animated or he's got no like
I see.
passion to it. You know, he's more
Alright,
cut and
alright.
dry. Like he talks like some sort of like
businessman,
like
businessman,
like an
businessman.
analyst or
This is-
something. You know, yeah.
Businessman.
We don't want that though. You know, we need like a Vince McMahon
Yeah,
or a
that's
Dana
true.
White.
That's true, but
Oscar
he's
De
the
La
next
Hoya,
up
bro.
though.
All right. Well, how about
He's
this?
the next up no matter what.
How about this? Get Hunter Campbell on that Snow White. Get him excited, get him passionate, get him amped, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Alright.
Now you're talking.
Just
now
give
you're
him
talking.
one. Let's see how he feels.
But
See how
I
he
mean,
acts.
he had personality in that Roku documentary when he
Oh,
was trying
when he
to.
blew John Jones in the backseat of a SUV.
That is that personality or not?
I mean, he gave me like that dude from Fire Festival. He's like, I'll do whatever it takes for us to get water. That's
But is that not personality? Weren't you shocked when you heard that?
all right. Say they pick DC as the next president of the UFC. Would we be mad?
Nah, I wouldn't be mad.
No.
But
Who would
this
be a
dude
good one
better
then? Brendan Schaub
I
comes
wouldn't be
back.
mad.
Brendan Schaub.
I wouldn't be mad. Nah, that'd be crazy. That'd be a crazy one.
He pops out like
I'll
the
tell you
Undertaker.
what. I'll tell you what. MMA media would go insane.
Yeah.
So many views, dude. If they got
Or,
Brendan
dude,
Schaub up there.
all right, what would be bigger? What would be bigger? The lights go out
Uh-huh.
and Brendan Schaub comes out, or Ariel Helwani comes out as the new UFC president?
Ooh, Ariel
Which one would be
Helwani.
bigger? A bigger story.
The bigger story would be Brendan Schaub for sure, but the better choice would be Ariel Helwani. Just because, dude, out of all the MMA journalists, like as I've seen down the line, like now the MMA journalists, since they're in Dana's pockets or the UFC's pockets, they just give whatever questions. But Ariel Helwani, dude, sometimes he'll try to instigate some
He's a
BS,
menace,
bro.
huh?
He's a little instigator, bro. But I like that, you know, because nobody's trying to do that anymore. Nobody's trying to build up a story of something like, you know, oh yeah, I heard so and so said this. Can I get any clarification on that? Like, you know, something, and and then sometimes the fighters don't even know, right? They're
Yeah.
just like, he said that. So that's that type of reaction I like, and I feel if Ariel Helwani was in the front, he would try to do stuff like that. Because I don't know, back in the day, Dana would do stuff like that too, though. But
He was a scum.
it worked because we were there to see it, you know, eyes glued, and you would build a story. But I don't know if maybe the UFC just needs new writers or what, just to build stories, right? I'm not talking about scripts or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, just to build stories, because these embeddeds and the countdowns ain't doing them anymore. I don't know if they just clock in and they just do whatever, but they ain't doing it no more. I haven't gotten excited on a countdown in a while. I used to be into a fight when I watched the countdown, even though I would already be into it, but that would get me hyped sometimes. Now, forget it. I don't even watch them.
I think the one this next one Dustin and Max, that one's probably gonna be a good.
Uh-huh.
One.
Okay.
Just because
Well, we'll
it's his
see.
last one.
I'll take a gander and see what they do. But I feel like MMA YouTube is doing a better job sometimes. Some of
Yeah.
these other channels, they do a way better job at telling stories.
That's true, but how many times can you really tell like Max Holloway's story? You know, you've seen this dude on so many countdowns or embedded.
Right. Right.
Sean O'Malley, all these guys. You know.
Well, how about you try?
These guys
How
need
about they try, yeah?
You need adversity. You're right. All right, man. Let's close this thing out.
All right.
All right, Seabass, you got anything? Yeah, he probably disconnected.
We lost him. Yeah, we lost.
Can you hear me? All right. Well,
All right.
on
See
to the
ya,
next
man.
one. Peace.